DC's Legends of Tomorrow, or simply Legends of Tomorrow, is an American action-adventure television series developed by Greg Berlanti, Marc Guggenheim, Andrew Kreisberg, and Phil Klemmer, who are also executive producers along with Sarah Schechter and Chris Fedak. Klemmer serves as showrunner. The series airs on the CW and premiered on January 21, 2016. The show is a spin-off from Arrow and The Flash, existing in the same fictional universe. On March 11, 2016, the CW renewed the series for a second season, scheduled to debut on October 13, 2016. Premise: after the murder of his family by a mortal dictator Vandal Savage, Time Master Rip Hunter travels back in time to the present day, where he brings together a team of heroes and villains in an attempt to prevent Savage from destroying the world. However, they are opposed by the Time Masters, an organization from the future dedicated to protect and manipulate the timeline as they see fit, and a body to which Hunter had sworn allegiance. During their early adventures, they are hunted by the Time Masters' agent Cronus. Cast and characters: Victor Garber as Martin Stein, Firestorm. A nuclear physicist focused on transmutation who is also half of the character Firestorm with Jefferson Jackson. Stein is also Ray Palmer's former college professor. Graham McComb portrays a young Stein in 1975. The character was first introduced on The Flash. Brandon Ruth as Ray Palmer, Atom. A scientist, inventor, businessman and CEO of Palmer Technologies who developed a power suit that is now capable of shrinking. The character was first introduced on Arrow. Arthur Darvill as Rip Hunter. A roguish time traveler and leader of the team, who hides the strains of being responsible for history itself behind a facade of charm and wit. His goal is to defeat Vandal Savage in order to save the world and his family. He and Savage are arch-enemies throughout the timeline. Aidan Longworth portrays a young Rip Hunter. Katie Lotz as Sarah Lance, White Canary, a Star City vigilante and former League of Assassins member suffering from rage issues after being resurrected by the mystical Lazarus Pit. The character is partially based on the Black Canary and was first introduced on Arrow. Franz Drammer as Jefferson Jackson, Firestorm. A former high school athlete whose pro career was derailed by an injury, who now works as an auto mechanic. He serves as the other half of the character Firestorm with Martin Stein. The producers decided to create Jax as the other half of Firestorm to have him be someone in his early 20s and different from Ronnie's Firestorm, bringing comedy and camaraderie with Stein. The character was first introduced on The Flash. Ciara Renee as Chiara, Edith Boardman, Kendra Saunders, Hawkgirl. A young woman who is just beginning to learn that she has been repeatedly reincarnated over the centuries. When provoked, her ancient warrior persona manifests itself along with wings that grow out of her back. She chooses to leave the team at the end of the first season. The character was first introduced on The Flash. Anna Deavere Smith portrays an older Kendra in 1871, known as Cinnamon. Fall Kenchel as Khufu, Joe Boardman, Carter Hall, Scythian Torville, Hawkman. The latest reincarnation of an Egyptian prince who is fated to reincarnate throughout time along with his soulmate Kendra, with powers similar to hers. He chooses to leave the team at the end of the first season. The character was first introduced on The Flash. Henschel received guest credit in his subsequent appearances in Season 1 after the character's death in Pilot Part 2. Amy Pemberton as Gideon, the artificial intelligence of the Wave Rider. An alternate version of Gideon was first introduced in The Flash. Dominic Purcell as Mick Rory, Heatwave, Cronus. an arsonist, career criminal and accomplice of Leonard Snar who, in contrast to his partner, uses a heat gun capable of burning almost anything. After being deserted in the past by Snar, he is recruited by the Time Masters and becomes the bounty hunter Cronus, who hunts the team. Mitchell Kamen portrays a young Rory. The character was first introduced on The Flash. Wentworth Miller as Leonard Snar, Captain Cole. The son of a career criminal who turns to the quick and easy life of crime, and uses a cryonic gun to freeze objects and people on contact. Tristan Zaradika portrays a young Leo. The character was first introduced on The Flash. Nick Zano as Nathan Haywood, a historian whose grandfather was Commander Steele, a member of the Justice Society of America. Maisie Richardson Sellers as Ahmed Jiva, Vixen. Able to magically channel the abilities of Animal Kingdom thanks to the mysterious Tantu totem, Jiva is the grandmother of the Vixen Mari McCabe, who is portrayed by Megalyn Ekokun-Woke in other Arrowverse series. It was originally intended for the McCabe version of Vixen to be used in Legends as well, but Ekokun-Woke was unable to reprise the role due to previous commitments. John Barrowman as Malcolm Merlin, a wealthy businessman and the former Ra's al Ghul. He is a member of the Legion of Doom. The character was first introduced in Arrow. Matt Letcher as Eobard Thorne, Reverse Flash, a supervillain speedster from the future and the archenemy of the Flash. He is a member of the Legion of Doom. The character was first introduced on The Flash. Episodes. Season 1 Season 2 Production. Development. In January 2015, co-creator Greg Berlanti stated that there were very early, preliminary talks for an additional spin-off series centered on Ray Palmer, Atom, from Arrow and The Flash. In February 2015, it was reported that a spin-off series, described as a superhero team-up show, was in discussion by the CW for a possible 2015-16 mid-season release. Berlanti, Andrew Kreisberg, Marc Guggenheim and Sarah Schechter would serve as executive producers. The potential series would be headlined by several recurring characters from both Arrow and The Flash, including Palmer, Leonard Snar and Dr. Martin Stein. Katie Lotz was also mentioned to be among the main cast. There would be potential for other Arrow, Flash characters to cross over to the new series, and the series would be casting 3 major DC Comics characters who have never appeared in a TV series. In March 2015, Stephen Amell, who portrays Oliver Queen, Green Arrow and Arrow, confirmed the series would air in the 2015-16 mid-season. Additionally, Kreisberg stated more would be revealed about the nature of the series by the end of Arrow's 3rd season, specifically why Lotz is slated to appear, given her previous character, P. Canary, was killed at the start of Arrow Season 3. Berlanti also stated there was a particular reason for the other half of Firestorm, Ronnie Raymond, as seen on The Flash, not being mentioned in the initial cast announcement. On the purpose of the series, Berlanti said it was designed to be most similar to our crossover episodes, where you feel that event-iness, but all the time. For us, first and foremost, with all of it's about how is it its own thing. Because we don't just want to do it. Quote. He also revealed that producers were focusing on making sure that the villain that we have on show is distinct to another big character who hasn't been used yet. Also in March, Dominic Purcell was revealed to be reprising his role as Heatwave in the series, and Blake Neely, composer of Arrow and The Flash, would serve as composer. At the end of the month, Arthur Darvill was cast as Rip Hunter, one of the new-to-TV DC characters, while Ciara Renee was cast as Kendra Saunders, Hawkgirl. In April 2015, in a Variety article on the recent MIP-TV event, it noted the title for the series would be Legends of Tomorrow, despite it still being unconfirmed by those involved with the series. Also in the month, Franz Drammer was cast as Jax Jackson. In May 2015, actor Victor Garber said that the CW was impressed with what was shown to them, giving the project a straight-to-series order. The network officially confirmed the order for the series on May 7, 2015, as well as the official title, DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Later in the month, it was confirmed that Lotz would reprise her role as Sarah Lance, who would be taking the name White Canary, as well as revealing the antagonist as Vandal Savage. In June 2015, it was announced that Phil Klemmer had been made the series showrunner as well as executive producer. At the end of the month, Grant Gustin stated he would appear in the series as Barry Allen, Flash, though he ultimately did not appear in the first season. In August 2015, Casper Crump was cast as Vandal Savage. On March 11, 2016, the series was renewed for a second season, scheduled to debut in October 2016. The producers have considered adjusting the Legends team for additional seasons, with Joseph David Jones, Connor Hawke and Megalyn Echo-Kunwooks Vixen potential additions. For the second season, Klemmer revealed that Arrow writer Kato Shimizu and the Flash writer Grainer Godfrey would be working on Legends in order to make our stories work in concert with Arrow and the Flash. Klemmer also noted the challenges of creating more crossover elements, since Amell and Gustin work full days for the respective shows. In terms of working within the Arrowverse, Klemmer said that the death of Laurel Lance on Arrow would resonate into Season 2. Something that happens on Arrow can create ripples that appear on our show in a huge way. It fundamentally alters the DNA of our series. The second season consists of 13 episodes, with the opportunity for more. Teasing the premise of Season 2 in April 2016, Klemmer stated, "We're coming at it from a completely different angle. We're determined to make every part of Season 2 feel like its own show. Will very much be a new pilot with new good guys, new bad guys, new stakes, new dynamics, new goals. The team will basically have to find a new purpose. Once you save the world, what do you do then? The fact that the world was in peril sort of forced our team to fall into its own dysfunctional version of lockstep. Season 2, they're no longer going to be hunted by Time Masters. They're no longer going to be burdened with having to save the world. It's no longer going to be about saving Miranda and Jonas. The interesting thing about Season 2 is I think it's going to have a much different tone because our Legends are going to have a totally different purpose. They're actually going to have a totally different constitution. There will be new faces and new everything. The season will also introduce members of the Justice Society of America. The society will consist of Vixen, Commander Steel, Obsidian, Stargirl and Dr. Midnight. The season will also feature a version of the Legion of Doom, composed of the Reverse Flash, Malcolm Merlyn, Damian Darhk, and Captain Cold. Filming in May 2015, Garber revealed filming would begin in August 2015 for a January 2016 premiere. The series shot a presentation for the network's upfront showcase, which was filmed over the course of one night, and directed by Arrow and Flash veteran Dermot Downs. Filming of the series began on September 9, 2015, in Vancouver, British Columbia. Director-producer Glenn Winter discussed in a January 2016 interview with Comic Book Resources the process of filming key elements of the series pilot. The new facet for Legends was that there's no number one on the call sheet. There are 7 or 8 leads. For me, that was the intimidating part. I wasn't as worried about the action and tone as I was with wrangling all these personalities and finding out how they all work together, or how to shoot a scene with 8 people in the Wave Rider, day after day." Quote. He stated of the series' style of shooting on location as opposed to predominantly shooting on a sound stage, as is typical with any pilot. "Most of the time you are going to shoot more on location, because you don't necessarily know if you are going to have a show that's been picked up. They don't want to invest a lot of money in the infrastructure, so you end up shooting more on location. The only set that was built was the Wave Rider. That being said, because we knew there was a pickup for the show, it wasn't a conventional pilot. All the resources of construction went into the Wave Rider. That's continuing into the series. I don't think they tend to build much. I think they tend to adapt locations because there's so much time travel and so many eras to create." Broadcast. Legends of Tomorrow premiered in the United States on January 21, 2016, and the first season consisted of 16 episodes. The series premiere in Australia was originally announced as January 20, 2016. However, it was pushed back until January 22. It started airing in the United Kingdom on March 1, 2016. Reception. Critical reception. Review aggregation website Rotten Tomatoes gave the series a 59% approval rating, with an average rating of 6.2/10 based on 31 reviews. The website's consensus reads, "Fancy effects, comic book nostalgia, and an alluring cast help keep it afloat." But DC's Legends of Tomorrow suffers from an overloaded cast of characters that contribute to a distractingly crowded canvas. Metacritic, which uses a weighted average, assigned a score of 59 out of 100 based on reviews from 18 critics, indicating mixed or average reviews. Russ Burlingame from Comic Book praised the pilot, saying, "The series delivers a sharp, enjoyable pilot that's arguably the most attention-grabbing and entertaining from any of the current crop of superhero shows. With so many movies and shows on the air, it would be easy for it all to become a kind of white noise. But DC's Legends of Tomorrow promises to give the year a suitably impressive kickoff, and fulfills the promise of being the most ambitious DC adaptation yet." Jesse Shedden of IGN gave the first part of the pilot episode a 7.7/10, praising the show's epic scope, fun character dynamics, and Arthur Darvill's performance, and gave the second part of the pilot episode a 8.4/10, saying that Legends of Tomorrow improved in its sophomore episode thanks to great character dynamics and superhero action, and praised the fun team-ups and the terrific superhero spectacle. Ratings. Arrowverse. In May 2015, Renee made a cameo in the final episode of The Flash's first season, Fast Enough, and later made appearances in the show's second season in November 2015. In July 2015, Guggenheim revealed that the resurrection of Sarah Lance would be launched in the first few episodes of Arrow's fourth season, with the events of the 8th episodes of Arrow and The Flash, which were a crossover event, being used to set up the other characters of Legends of Tomorrow. Franz Drammer was introduced as the new other half of Firestorm in the 4th episode of the second season of The Flash. Crump, Henschel and James debut in the crossover episodes for the second season of The Flash and the 4th season of Arrow.